Ready? All right. Good evening and welcome to the September 8th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If you'd all rise for pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome. We have no public hearing this evening. Any announcements from the board?
I have none.
Okay. Additions and deletions to the agenda. I think we're all set.
Nope.
We have no appointments this evening. There is no public here, so the public comments will forego. Correspondence, the treasurer's reports and the motor vehicle agent's reports are available for anybody that would like to review those. Just touch base with someone here at Town Hall. Reports and staff initiatives. Selectmen's report. Anything, Dwayne?
There was a notice sent out on that PUR system, and we were going to bring that up. It's kind of fallen to the side.
On what system?
The PUR, the state retirement, as far as the selectmen,
M.R.S.A. Yep.
Planning boards and all of that. And the first time I see it, it said we'd discuss it, and it's been eliminated. That we got it last meeting, so I'm just bringing it up while I'm thinking about that.
Right. So, per whether you want Social Security or pay into the PUR system, which is state retirement.
Yeah, that, we needed to make a statement, and I think it needs to come from you folks, and that did get dropped. I think it had to come from the board to identify that you really meant 32-hour-a-week person, employees and above, but, or not.
I would say it's coming from MMA, it looked like.
So we need to resurrect that.
Yeah.
That'll go on item number 14.
Okay. Anything else, Dwayne?
No. I just happened to think of it, that's all.
I do not, no.
Good.
No, I don't have anything, thank you.
Dana? It's fast.
Yeah.
I have nothing. Town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Medium report tonight. With the recent outbreak in the county here, we're ramping up our cleaning. We're doing things hourly in the front lobby, door handles, all the workstations for the public here. Fire department is also increasing their cleaning frequency as well. The buzz for elections doesn't stop, and the number of absentee ballots is well over, ballot requests right now is over 700. The box that we have coming will hopefully be here in the next week to 10 days. Dave, you saw walking by, is doing some camera updates, so we have at least 2 cameras taking photos of the box when it will be out there. Hopefully.
Do we have to post a sign that says that it's under video surveillance?
We can if we want to. There's cameras all over the front, so if somebody doesn't see them, then they're not really looking.
I looked at that when I came in. Question, I'm going to put that on the concrete that we got out there, or pour a new concrete pad to the corner of that, and then it's out of the way, and then get clean around anything that you put in there for iron.
Well, we figured we'd lag it to the cement.
Which is, once you lag it into the cement, that those lags are going to fill up. So you're going to have to clean them out. But if you had, I don't know how big of a pad, you got a 2x2 or 2x4, put that so that you ain't got to blow the snow off it or work off it or try to clean around it. And you put a cover over it when you're done.
Leave the pad but take the box? You mean?
Yeah.
We could look at that. We're trying to keep it underneath the drip edge.
Yeah. But,
For security reasons, wouldn't that be a little bit less taken? I mean, it'd take a heck of a lot less security if you put a 2x2 pad on the side.
Yeah.
Is to bolt it down to that pad up front. You know they're not gonna pick that thing up and walk away with it then.
Well, if they do, they have to work at it.
Right.
Well, it'd be an awful, yeah, that's what I'm getting at, but I mean with a 2x2 pad,
I would have a sonotube down there about 4 feet and pour a pad over the top of it.
well, that's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. You'd have to pour a pretty thick pad in order to make sure they can't just,
But take a sonotube and pour the pad over the top of it and fill that sonotube so that you've got 4 or 5 feet down in there and it's there forever.
yeah.
I guess we ought to look, see how watertight it is when we get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that'll be a big
yeah.
key.
My guess is it's gonna be some.
If you gotta build a
kind of
roof,
box.
if you put it off to the side and it's exposed to the weather, that's another problem, right? So if you can keep it under the, I understand it, try to keep it, if it's under the awning, it's gonna take up space, right? But,
Well, just until November 4.
right, so, I don't know.
We'll get it and cross that bridge when we
Yep.
get there, I guess. For the public's benefit, we hope to have ballots by Friday, October 3rd, which means that in-person voting in Town Hall could begin October 5th, and then ballots would be mailed out October 3rd or maybe before, whenever the ballots come, and from the 5th through the 9th. That first week of October is all hands on deck, and it is going to be a busy week here with that and everything else going on. The election is at Massabesic East again. That is going to be a remote student learning day. There will be no students there, so there may be some teachers, and I've learned today that they do want 2 deputies for the 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. time slot in case we get as busy as we were in 2016, but only 1 deputy from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And just to review, we've had a change in the registered voter balance, if you will. For the first time since I've been here, out of 5,427 registered voters, Republicans are in the lead now with registrations of a little over 1,800. Unenrolled, which is usually the top category, is a little over 1,700. A little less than 1,600 in Democrats and 295 Green Party registered. And we had 31% absentee ballots cast in 2016. And we could easily double that this time around. And I'll be surprised if we do not. Moving over to the fire department, we got 3 prices and they were in your packet there for J.P. Carroll. J.P. Carroll, $4,400 and change for this K1 heater replacements down there. Perfect was $59.50 and Air Serv was $5,565. So J.P. Carroll being the low bidder and the labor materials looked good, so they were awarded the bid. The LED sign bid is back out. You see it listed. We did ask for prices to come in with more work done by the contractor this time and less work done by staff in terms of the mounting and some of the attachment to the earth out there. And our DPW position number 4 is advertised on MMA and town websites. And we're going to have to hire a new code enforcement officer next spring because Glenn is retiring. I wanted you folks to know that. He said it was okay if I told you and the public that this evening. Tax bills were mailed out last week, and God bless the people that come in when they get them because they're coming, and it's great to see people come in and pay that early. Please remember, for those folks back home, we only send out 1 bill, and it is split in 2, with half due this October and the other half due next April. And the relatively new animal control officer for Hollis and Limington stopped in to introduce herself and offer to take Wade's place when he's on vacation or unavailable. She's fairly new to the trade, but she lives here in Waterboro, right on Old Alfred Road, so that was very nice of her to do that. And other than that, that's it from me, but I do have Todd's report for the next agenda item, so are there any questions in my report? Hearing none. Shall I, Dennis?
Yep.
Friendship Park work to date. This report is written by Todd Smith, and he's under the weather, so I made sure that he stayed home. A lot of parties have been involved down there. Public Works has put a ton of work and man hours, removing some trees, some stumps. Abbott Hill Tree Service was there, I think with their bucket, to take down some limbs that were threatening to hurt somebody if they came down. Public Works leveled out the snack shack and put some crushed stone around it. They raised it up so that blocks could be put underneath. They relocated a utility pole out into the middle of the parking lot there so we can get some better lighting out there. And there's a new trench for a new electrical feed over to the pump you see in the risers over by the fenced-in practice field. Pete Cody did a ton of work down there as well. We used his construction talents and saved the town a good chunk of money in construction costs by helping raise the shack, repair the floors, wall, and ceiling, installing a couple of windows, and he's going to soon be fixing a hole in the roof. Todd wanted to make sure he thanked a lot of different recreation staff members who've come down and helped clean up and do other things. He didn't name them all, but I think there were several people that helped out with that. Norman's Electric has been very responsive for both this project as well as the Lions Field for being right there when we need them for information. New LED lights on the poles exist now, as well as an electrical panel. New lights inside and out on the building. Little League scoreboard needed a little work to bring it up to code. And over on the gazebo, there's a couple of new lights as well. The only thing they're lacking over there is a state electrical inspection. CMP coming to pop the meter in and a few other little tidy up things. And hopefully by next Friday, the 18th, they'll truly be done with that project, and the public can use it during these days when it gets dark pretty early.
How do we pay for those LED lights? Because the last I heard, we didn't have the money in the budget this time.
No, that was for the
That was for
Lions.
Lions Field.
Oh, that's the Lions Field.
This was down at the Friendship.
Oh, okay, all right.
Far fewer lights on this project than the Lions Field.
Right.
The Massabesic mini, younger kids that are
Mayfair.
practicing football on our fields.
Yep.
Mass gathering or trying to meet the quotas of 50 people in a small area. Where do we stand? I mean, it's our liability. They're using our fields, and they can't practice on the fields over the Massabesic, but they can practice on ours. And I don't know. And I've seen quite a bunch of gathering down there in the evening, so.
I don't know the answer to that.
Well,
Find out.
and the same thing, I've had several people comment on the cornhole toss, and I think it's great, don't get me wrong, but when we get up over 50 people,
If it's outside, you can have 200.
where'd that come from?
That's the criteria.
Not for York County.
Yeah.
We'd want to check on that, but
I believe it's 200 people.
Oxford County can go to 100,
Well,
but.
all I can tell you is that
But they also got to be collecting telephone numbers to who's there in case something happens.
I don't
So,
know all of that part of it, but
So Todd's just texting in saying that both Mayfac and the cornhole folks were told to keep it under 50. They might not.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the time you get two parents and a couple kids down there, and you get, it don't take long to get up to 50, but at the same time, is a bookkeeper taking telephone numbers?
For contact tracing?
Yeah.
Didn't know you had to do that for outdoors. We can look at that though.
And this is a concern of the town residents when you go into Hannaford's or around town, so how can they do it?
The current guidelines are 50 people indoors and 100 people outdoors. That's off the, per the governor's executive order.
well, that's 100 then. I was thinking it was 2, and that's, I was basing that on the fact that racetrack in Scarborough can have 200 fans there, but, and you have to control how many people are in the pits, but they can literally put 200 fans in the stands.
But they all gotta be 6 feet apart.
Right,
I
right.
mean, even a family can't sit together, they gotta be separated.
So, you're saying it's 100, Gordon?
Yeah, it's 100 for outdoor, 50 for indoor. That's the current COVID guidelines.
I think Todd is saying that football has the info for contact tracing.
Yeah, you're right. It's 100 people outdoors.
Outdoor gatherings
Say
and
how many
events.
acres, I mean.
No, it's outdoors.
Outdoors, yeah.
Outdoors, a facility, so.
But we ought to find out how,
The liability questions on this are never ending, and they're gonna be going on for a long, long time. I will find out.
but we should make sure that we're compliant, or they're compliant, because I think Dwayne is right. Where it's our property, we probably own the
I wouldn't have
responsibility.
cared last month, because we didn't own it.
Right.
Oh, I'm talking about Lions.
I'm talking about both of them, because they're using both of us facilities.
Oh, the other fenced in.
The fenced-in area was full of kids the other night when I went down through.
Okay.
All right.
That's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else? Any other questions? If not, we're gonna move on to new business. Review recent bids for South Waterboro Fire Station HVAC. I think we're all set there, right? That's what you just reported on with,
Yep, I gave them to you, so.
yeah. Well, we don't have to vote on them, right? It's,
Correct.
you'll move it on with
Just want them in the public eye.
GP Carroll.
Yep.
Item B, discuss vote to renew Massabesic Lions Club Beano Bingo State application. That comes up every year.
You have the code officer and Captain Fraser
Yes.
sign off in there.
I'll make a motion to approve the Beano license for another year.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.
5-0.
I just want a conversation on, we're just gonna replace 2 monitor heaters down there, 2
Yes,
K1 heaters.
yes.
Did we look at other units?
We looked at the propane, but we've got a problem with the real estate and not being able to get that
Well,
tank in there easily or at all. The snowplow.
These air conditioning units and heat.
Heat pumps, you mean?
Yes. If we've got people staying down there, we're gonna need, should have an air conditioner, at least in the back part of that building where the office is. I'm throwing this out because we're just replacing what unit that we've got and they aren't working properly, so I can understand the garage heater is fine, but that heat pumps are
Yeah, it might be,
dehumidifier and air conditioning and heat all one unit, so
it might be an opportunity to,
upgrade.
I don't know how
something.
many, I don't know whether people are staying down there around the clock or.
Most of the time, no.
Okay.
They're
But
not.
they're there during the day, or working in, this summer it's been very warm, so it's
Yeah.
kinda nice to get in where it's not 100
I
degrees.
mean, these units would be replaced because the old ones were worn out.
Right,
I mean, they'll do the job heat-wise in there.
I mean, I've got 2 monitors and I love them at the house, but I gotta replace them, and that's where I'm going, is to look.
Those are all electric, right? There's no, the heat pump would be electric.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We did look
But
at it.
if you haven't got any electric, I mean, if the power went out, the monitor ain't gonna work either.
Right, right.
So,
True.
it's
Yep.
catch-21.
Other than when you cross that threshold of how many kilowatt hours
Yeah.
you're using,
Yeah.
you're gonna,
But these supposed to be cost efficient,
Yeah.
so, I don't know.
Well, it's something that they probably should take a look at.
To find out myself, so,
Yep.
but I'm headed that way.
All right.
I realize you've already put it out, but, put it out to bid and, but,
This
Was
is
it,
cheaper in the short run,
yeah.
2 units here. You can get 2 units on one compressor, probably gonna be a bit more money than the 4,400 and change or whatever. I'd have to ask Matt as to, you know, what the reason he didn't consider this space-wise. I know the propane was a problem.
Yeah,
We don't have the real estate down there, especially to get out of the way of snow plowing.
and they still gotta get to it, so,
Yep.
All right, let's move on to C, vote on appointment to the Saco River Corridor Commission. What's your pleasure then?
I'll make a motion to appoint Jonathan Gardner as a member of the Saco River Corridor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? Gordon?
Extension?
Yeah.
401, Gordon abstained.
Vote on appointment to Public Safety and Old Home Days Committee, the applicant that we had in the last meeting.
Old Brook Creek.
I'd go over to the Old Home Days Committee because we need people that have left, so I'm gonna make a motion to appoint her to the Old Home Day Committee.
second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to appoint to the Old Home Days Committee. Any further discussion?
Did she want to go on both, or
Yes, she did.
why wouldn't we appoint her to both?
Well, let's get one done and then we'll take another motion. All those in favor of the Old Home Days Committee? Okay, 5-0.
You know,
Is there any other motions that would be entertained?
Then you have anything?
Well, I mean, you got two of them there.
Right.
Should have both done them one
So
shot.
you want to
I'll
make
make
a
a motion that we appoint Nicole to the
public safety?
Safety Committee.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
5-0.
All right, that settles that. Go back to the old agenda here. Discuss status of the November 3rd Selectmen's meeting on Election Day.
This room is available if you wish to meet. Won't be people walking through it. We just need to know.
I think we play it as a, I mean, I don't, we got 3 more meetings
Well, we'll move it to the
Full
second.
meetings.
Well, we
I-
made it to the second and third.
yeah, we could do the 2nd and the 3rd if we need to. That's not a problem, right?
For November.
Yeah. So we would
It's
do
the fourth Tuesday.
Yeah.
the 3rd and the 10th, right? We'd move it from the 3rd to the 10th.
So 10 and 17 November.
Right. Is everybody amenable to that?
Do you have to vote on it?
Need a vote. So,
So November meetings will be the 10th and 17th, and for the public's benefit, the selectmen are changing their meetings to first and third Tuesdays as of October 1.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business, update on the Bennett Hill Road Lane Environmental Assessment work.
On August 26th, the day after your last meeting, I believe, we had a site walk with the geologist from TRC. Doug Foglio Sr. joined us, and a lady from Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission who's involved with the grant, Kelsey Pelton. We walked the perimeter of the property. We found 3 posts, 2 that we never expected to see, which is good. We're going to go back and mark those a little better, kind of following the edge of the marsh there. And after Kelsey and Doug Sr. left, Joel and I crisscrossed the lot a couple more times, and he was happy. In theory, his report's going to be on my desk and with Doug by the end of this week. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that was his goal anyway. And then both the Foglios and the town get to review that and provide comment. And I'm not sure what the length of the mandatory review period is by DEP, but there is a period there, and then it'll move forward. Then it'll come to you folks, and then you can decide whether or not you think you want to go with a Phase 2 assessment, which can include, doesn't have to, but it can include sampling, testing of gravel for pollutants. I think you got to think long and hard about that, because these things that were deposited in an adjacent property went down through the soil, and probably, if there's anything left there, are in the water table. Remember, the gravel that we're going to harvest off this parcel, if we do, is many feet above the water table. So you need to take that into account.
So I think we look at the Phase 1 assessment, and then we make a decision of
Yep.
we pull the trigger and go with it.
I agree.
I don't think there's anything that's gonna leap out at us there, but we'll see. The right thing to do is to go through that initial assessment.
The pit itself has been tested. You get tests on that.
The town does?
Yes,
On the piece that,
The piece that you gave to the town?
yes.
Let's talk about that afterwards, so maybe you can help me find that. That might be helpful. Because I haven't run across that. We can talk about it.
Yeah. That
okay,
was the same time the town did both of them.
discuss possible vote on new liaison assignments of boards and committees. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to peek at this. The way we came out of this the other night, or 2 weeks ago, was Cemetery Committee would be Gordon, Community Garden Committee is open, Conservation Commission would be Dwayne, Eco Maine Board of Directors is me, with Gary as the alternate, Economic Development is me, Library Trustees is open, Old Home Days is Gordon. The Planning Board I've been doing, I don't have a problem with going back on there unless somebody wants to jump in. Public Safety Committee, you said you would?
Yep.
Yeah, so David would take the Public Safety Committee. Road Review Committee would be Dwayne. Transfer Station and Recycling, I guess because I'm connected with the Eco Maine thing, probably put my name in there. And the Zoning Board of Appeals would be Dwayne. So the only things that we really need is the Library Board of Trustees, Community Garden,
Planning board.
say again?
Planning board maybe?
The Planning Board out. I mean, unless somebody else wants that. I mean, I've been doing it since Tim left. Up to you. I don't mind staying.
I don't mind sharing it with you
So if I can't,
do it.
if I can't do it, then Dwayne will do
Yeah.
it, so.
Try a snowstorm.
I'll follow the community garden, as well as public
David,
safety.
and which leaves us with library trustees. Dana?
I was on the road with the one, I think.
No, that was, that road ordinance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, the road ordinance thing.
Oh, the site distance of the
Driveway.
driveway, that's a whole different, not a liaison, but it's a three-member board that,
So we appointed, he's our representative on it.
we need two more members. One of them's gotta come from the road review, and one of them, I don't know if
That was
that's
the
from the
planning.
public.
Planning for the public.
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so if anybody's interested in the library trustees, that'll be the open one for this point. We'll go from there. Everything else is pretty well filled up.
Okay.
You got all that, Norm?
What?
Do you have all of that?
I did,
Okay.
thank you.
Can you read it back, please?
Big smile on your face.
You want me to read it back to you?
No, he's smiling. Okay. It's quite a mess.
But yeah.
All right, let's move on to other. Discuss vote to approve the minutes of the August 25th meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve as written.
Okay,
Second.
moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
It was a tie, we'll give that to Dana.
Opposed? Pending decisions, week's action list, discussion of the vendor items, we're gonna bring
Made the motion.
the M.R.S.A, main PERS
Yes.
back.
Yep.
I think we probably, you and I talked the other day a little bit about personnel policy and hiring someone, and I think we probably ought to have that discussion relative to the cost of doing that.
Before we leave that thought though, let me tell the rest of the board what I told you. I mean,
Yep.
I reached out to 3 firms, one of them does a fair amount of this and has a good reputation with a firm known as LaBelle and Harriman in Greater Portland. And she's off on her own now. Well, we didn't budget anything for this work on the personnel policy. This one particular person who's experienced and does a fair amount of municipal work is $175 an hour. So I didn't think there was a whole lot of energy on this board to try and do something at that rate for something we did not budget for. Paying somebody like that to go through our personnel policy and create wage scales would be many thousands of dollars. I would say guess somewhere between 5 and 10, depending on how much detail we wanted. And whether or not it included the whole fire department for a different set of wage scales also. So there's lots of things to consider. So Dennis and I were talking about the other day, in my mind, this is something for this fall in the budget committee and for next year, in a big way. We can nibble around the edges. This lady has a 1 hour a week plan to spend an hour a week with whatever your problems are. And I just really didn't think that was us. We've got a personnel policy that needs some professional help. Much grander scale.
Does MMA have any resources?
I guess probably the first thing we ought to do is have a workshop and go through that whole personnel policy and decide whether we want to add or subtract before you even think about hiring somebody to remodify it.
Well, we know that we've had numerous discussions relative to grades, right?
Yeah.
Or rather than kind of the way that we do it now, to have some sort of a pay range, right? So that's one of the issues, but I think you're right. I think we could probably look, we got 2 new folks on the board. We probably ought to revisit the personnel policy in a workshop and just brainstorm of those kind of things that we want to attack, because if we don't have some direction, even if we hire somebody, it'll be a science project, right?
Well, Julie's still here. Julie, Matt and I can get together again and revisit some of those things and put them in a bullet list to concentrate on.
Right. I think that.
That's probably a good idea.
Maybe we have that discussion in a workshop with the
I kind
board.
of think that when we open it up, we ought to look at everything, because it's been quite a while since we looked that policy over. So there may be some things that we want to update.
1917, 2017 is the last time
Right,
it was
so
amended.
it's gonna be 4 years old here
Yeah.
before we know it.
So if we look at everything and see what, some stuff may not be applicable anymore, or
So why don't we get a copy out to everybody, either a hard copy or you can send it out, and we'll schedule, we'll put on the next time's agenda to schedule a workshop for preliminary discussions of what would we want to have someone look at in the personnel policy, and then I think Gary's right, then whatever that budget may be, we need to tee that up as we go into the budget
Okay.
discussions.
Well, we're gonna have to, when you're talking wages, we're gonna have to compare and probably take the state wages and see where we compare to an MMA. Should be able to get good time for us, so that.
That's right. We ought to be able to take
We've done
that.
that before, so,
There is a pay scale right now at MMA,
yeah.
2 years old.
Yeah, and we had, Gary and David and I had a discussion, kind of irrelevant to the personnel policy, but what we're paying contractors and trucks and stuff like that. That hasn't been updated in years.
Right.
And my suggestion is that these guys look at the state rate and, you know, do whatever they've got to do to.
Well, I mean, even like the trucks or hired crews and whatnot. Lawn rooms, well, I mean, you've got all these contractors out there, and they must have, talk to the secretary in the office, I'm sure that you can
What
have
the
a
going
pay
rate
scale,
is.
yes. Right down through. Dana might be able to grab it for us, but,
Yeah, he runs trucks.
yeah.
Great, man.
Okay? Anything else you want to see on the agenda for next time? If not, I would remind everybody to sign the minutes, sign the Massabesic Lions Beano Bingo State application, the appointment to the Saco Commission, which is a little bit, I guess, in accordance with their layout or what they need. So make sure you sign those. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you very much and good night.